It's time for Recipe of the Day. Long before restaurants had baked potato soup, and even before they had loaded baked potatoes, or at least before they called them that, there was potato soup, but it was not loaded. This is the classic potato soup that my grandmother, my Ukrainian baba, and my mom made when I was growing up. It is delicious. It is so good, and it doesn't have any toppings. It only has 5 ingredients, including the salt and pepper, and yet so much flavor, so hearty. I love this. It's like ultimate comfort food. If you've never had this before, you have to try it. But if you remember having potato soup when you were a kid, this is probably what it was. And so you also have to go make it and try it, right? Okay, so very, very basic. What we're going to be doing is boiling the potatoes in water just enough to cover them. And then we're going to fry some bacon, turn the bacon fat into a roux, add that to the water and the potatoes, salt and pepper, done. Really, that's all it is. It's ready in under 30 minutes. Let's go. So you're starting with 2 pounds of russet potatoes. That's what I use. It's about 5 medium sized. I usually peel them just because my baba and my mom used to peel them, but you don't have to. You can leave the peels on if you'd like. And then you're going to cut them into 1/2 inch cubes. And you're putting them into like a large saucepan with just enough water to cover them. That water is going to become the broth for the soup, so we don't want too much. Then you're adding 1.5 teaspoons of salt, and you're going to bring it up to a boil over high heat and then reduce it down to a simmer and cook until the potatoes are very tender, about 10 to 12 minutes. Crucially, do not drain them. Like I said, we need that water for the soup. You want that like rich, starchy potato water for the broth of the soup. I will say that you could use a vegetable stock or broth or a chicken stock or broth to boil the potatoes. You would get more flavor, but I never have, and I don't think you need to. There's going to be so much flavor in this, you are not going to believe it. Okay, while the potatoes cook, you are frying 6 slices of bacon. I told you there was flavor. You are frying 6 slices of bacon in a nice big skillet until they are crispy. Take the bacon out of the skillet and set it aside, and then from the skillet, remove all but 3 tablespoons of the bacon fat. You need 3 tablespoons of bacon fat in the skillet. The rest of the bacon fat, you can either throw that out or store it however you store bacon fat to use for something else. Then, to the bacon fat in the skillet, you are adding 3 tablespoons of flour, just regular all-purpose flour, and you're going to stir that in and cook and stir over medium heat until it's nice and smooth and just lightly cooked. We don't want this browned at all. We're just gently cooking out the flour taste a little bit, just like a minute, okay? Then take that off the heat. Leave it in the skillet. Once the potatoes are cooked, fork tender, you're going to use a spatula and scrape all of that flour mixture. It's basically a flour and bacon roux. You're going to scrape all of that into the pot with the potatoes and their cooking water. Give that a good stir. Then chop up the bacon that you have sitting on the cutting board, all 6 of those crispy strips of bacon. Add those into the pot as well, along with a 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. Then you're going to just simmer that gently, just a light bubble, stirring often until the soup thickens. It's only going to take about 5 minutes. Then you're going to use a wooden spoon to gently mash about 1/4 of the potatoes right into the liquid. You could take a potato masher right in there and just kind of mash a couple times, give it a stir, make sure that you still have lots of chunks of potato, but that some of it is broken up. That's going to form some of the body for the soup, that nice starchy creaminess. Then you're going to taste it, add more salt and pepper if you'd like, and that is it. There is no cream, there is no milk, there is no sour cream, there are no toppings. Of course, if you would like to do any of those things, you absolutely can. You're going to see that it tastes great, but if you want to stir in a little bit of whipping cream just for that nice creaminess, or even like coffee cream 1/2 and 1/2, or you could do a little dollop of sour cream into there, you absolutely also could ladle this into soup bowls and then do the loaded potato toppings, a little shredded cheddar cheese, sour cream, green onion, more bacon. You can totally do that, or just eat it the way that your grandmother and my baba intended, just plain, just like that. You're going to love it. I will put the link to this recipe in the show notes for this podcast episode, or you can head to cookthestory.com/ROTD and get it there. Everything there is arranged by date, so it's helpful to know that today is February 17th of 2026. I'm Christine Pittman from cookthestory.com, thecookville.com, cookfor2.us, and this podcast, Recipe of the Day. I hope you have a great day. Let's get cooking.